My status in Korea has actually changed. I am no longer on the entertainment visa, but it doesn't mean that I am not doing my modeling jobs like I used to. We're gonna talk about why. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I am alone today. Leslie is probably having her beauty sleep at the moment. I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. Remember how we used to talk about visa and stuff of that nature? It's kind of been a while. My status in Korea has actually changed. I am now an official resident here in Korea. I'm no longer on a student visa. I am no longer on a specialized worker visa, which is something that I almost got but didn't because I switched to entertainment, and I am no longer on an entertainment visa. I am on the F-2 visa, which is a resident visa, which allows you to do any job that you wish to do. So it has a lot of benefits, but we're gonna go through everything, and especially what they don't tell you on the internet. When I tell you the struggle, the stress, the sweat that was rolling on the side of my face when they were asking me all them questions, they don't tell you this online. We're just gonna go through the list of everything you need and everything you have to do in order to obtain this visa, the official list and then the real list. If you are planning on obtaining a resident visa, if you're tired of having just a student visa, having to go back and forth, or if you're a younger person who has not come to Korea yet but is planning to come to Korea, I'm gonna give you all the tea that will help you have a smoother transition to the resident visa. Please remember that this video is just to tell you what my experience was. I have all my notes, honey. Let's go. And one of the really specific things about Korea is that they work on case by case. Like when I tell you case by case, I'm dead ass. Like you can be two people with the same attributes. It can take one little thing. This person is okay and you're not. So let's get into the eligibility requirements. There are 3 specific eligibility requirements that you have to have, otherwise it's just not even worth trying. You have to have been in Korea under a certain type of visa. The D series visa, which is like the student series, there are multiples. The E visa, so mine was an entertainment visa. The E61, it depends on your situation, but there are multiple varieties of e-visas and you have to have been under those visas for a while before you can apply to the F-series visa. So for example, if you've been working for a company and you're under the E7 visa for a certain amount of time, you can apply. If you've been in entertainment for a certain amount of time, you can also apply. But it really depends on your specific situation. The official timeline that they say is that you have to be on either of these visas for 3 years. The second one is coin, honey. These people want people who have the ability to earn a living, who have the ability to sustain themselves in Korea. So you basically have to demonstrate financial stability. And then the third one that actually I had never heard before for other visas that I've tried for, is a clean criminal record. Obviously, if you have done anything that has something on your criminal record, you're... Now, the application process has been changing over the years, so it really depends. You always have to check the most recent list of requirements, but basically there is a point system and we will get into how many points you get for each category. You have to gather a certain list of documents. So once you have that list of documents, you need to actually apply onto the website for a visit. Some of the visas you can apply online. There are certain certifications or authorizations you can just apply online, but for this specific visa, you have to actually apply for a visit. Please do this in advance, like way in advance. I mean like 3 months or 6 months in advance if you have to. The way that place is packed, you have to know like, oh, I'm gonna apply for these visas in maybe the next 3 to 6 months. Get an actual reservation for that day so that you don't have to come at the last minute. I actually got a couple reservation dates, so I would take like a couple. I would take 2 or 3. Once I know exactly when I'm gonna be able to visit, I'll just cancel the ones I don't need. So once you get to your visitation date, you go and then you submit all the papers. They will probably grill you with questions, but the most important is to have the full list of papers that they're asking. They're gonna review them and then they will send you on your way and let you know, okay, well, this application is good to go. Sometimes they'll tell you, you need to come back with these documents. Please come back and complete or send this to us by email or fax or whatever the case may be. But most of the time, if your application is complete, they will send you on your way and then they will call you and say, hey, your card is ready, just come and get it. So usually that's kind of how it works. It sounds simple. It is not. Now that we have seen the actual process of getting the F-2 visas, let me get you into the actual point system. This is the most important. The points are the ones that are gonna determine whether or not you're gonna get the visa. And for each point, you have to justify with a document. So we're gonna go through my specific case. I have my notes right here, let's get right into it. You have to have at least 80 points out of 170. The first points that you get are age-based. So the younger you are, the more you get. So me being 31, I am in the section of 30 to 34 years old, which gives me a total of 23 points. You obviously bring your passport and your ARC that you currently have to prove your age. Next is your highest level of education. This one is really important, especially for the younger ones who are planning on going to Korea and are still thinking about university and things like this. If your plan is to live in Korea for the long term, for whatever reason, I would definitely encourage you to think about going to school in Korea after high school if you're still in high school, or even grad school in Korea if you're already in university abroad. In my case, my highest education level is master's degrees. I have an MBA in business. My specific area would be master's degree. You either have engineering or science, or you have the liberal arts. So I'm in liberal arts. I have 17 points. And to prove your highest level of education, what do you need? Obviously, your degree certificate. And then you have to prove your Korean language ability. What do I always say when we talk about visas in Korea, or even coming to Korea in general? Learn Korean. You have to prove those points by taking the topic exam or the KEEP exam. I did take the topic. I got a topic 5 and I got 20 points out of it. What do you do to prove it? You bring your certificate that you can print out on the topic website after the results come out. The next one is your minimum salary, how much you are making. Now let me tell you what these people don't tell you, or let me say this. I'm saying, oh, they didn't tell me, but I might have not understood 100%. And mind you, I translated documents over documents. I went to City Hall and asked them about the paper, but obviously I wasn't able to explain 100% what I needed. So they just gave me the paper and I wasn't really sure what exactly I needed to be in it. In my head, I had to just give them my revenue from the prior year. But when I got there, I realized I didn't have the point. Because I became a freelancer, obviously my revenue at the time, not broke, but I was very close to broke, okay? And I thought I would have the smallest amount, which is 10 points, which is between the minimum wage and in USD, $30,000 a year. I thought I was there. I was not there, because on the paper they were not looking at my total revenue, they were looking at my actual, what I am assuming is savings, which is your total revenue minus all the big purchases that you make. And I think the reason is the paper that they give you is linked to your bank. That's just my assumption. I'm not sure 100%. But when I made the calculation on my actual bank, and I was basically taking my revenue minus all my expenses, the actual revenue that I had was a little bit similar to the number that was right under my official revenue that I thought that they were gonna look at. And it was way less than what was needed. The minute the lady saw this at immigration, she was like, oh no, you don't have enough money. Like, you're not good with this. And then she suddenly got up and went and asked someone something, and she came back and basically said, all right, you're not eligible for this, but with the rest of your point, you might be eligible for 1 year of the visa. You will have to renew it. Right here, you can scratch the 10 points. I did not have them. I thought I did, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna be fine. Did not have them. And we're going to the next one, which is extra points. This is where my luck pretty much hit me. I graduated from Yonsei University, which is one of the Sky schools, and the fact that I went to a excellent school, that's what they call them, it got me additional points. You can go into the global rankings for schools and you can check which rank is your school. And Yonsei happened to be not only a school in Korea, so I already had 7 points at least. So it kind of made up for the fact that I didn't have the minimum amount of money that I needed, but the school was also part of the excellent schools, and that got me a whopping 20 points right then and there. I went from 60 to 80 points, which is already the minimum that I needed. Now you can also have, volunteering activities that you may have done that will add to your points. And then the last category is anything you may have done that's illegal, which is why you need a clean record. You need a clean criminal record to prove that you have absolutely not done anything illegal in the country or anywhere else, so that they cannot take points back. I ended up having the minimum amount, really. So that is the specifics of how I got the number of points I needed and everything I brought to prove my point. So that was my official list of documents plus your place of residence and also your work contract. So these are the two ones that weren't on the list of points. But basically, in order to justify your minimum salary, you have to say, hey, I've been working for this company, or I've been working for this entertainment company for X amount of years, whatever. So you have to bring your contract. And obviously, this is pretty obvious, you have to prove that you live in the country. So I had to bring the contract that I have for my house. So as you can see, the list is pretty straightforward when you go through the point system. It's actually not that bad. But the thing is, when I actually went to the immigration, this is when things went a little bit weird. And I think this is something that they don't tell people. There was the money thing. I didn't know that they would be looking at my actual savings or whatever calculation they made that took money out of my actual revenue, and they were looking at what money I had left, and they were like, this is not enough. So that's one. And then the second thing is, the lady actually looked at my passport and she asked me, so I have a French passport right now, but I was born and raised in Senegal. So I'm technically a citizen of both countries, but I use my French passport just because it is a stronger passport and I've been using it for years now. I actually don't even know where my Senegalese passport is, which is quite shameful. It must be expired by now, but even when I go back to Senegal, I use my French passport. And she looked at it and she was like, how long have you been French for? I had to explain this whole bunch of things, and she left and went to talk to someone else. And I don't know what the hell she asked. To this day, I don't know. She came back, she was like, so do you have family in Senegal? I have like relatives, like granduncles, like, you know, aunts in Senegal. When was the last time you went there? Did you stay over 6 months? And you don't have any more family? Do you plan on going back? Like, she grilled me about my country of origin, and I didn't want to assume the reasons, but obviously Senegal has a weaker passport, and I couldn't help but think, okay, there are some stereotypes about African countries still in Korea. So I was like side-eyeing her, like in my head, obviously, because I was like, she needs to give me that visa. I'm gonna smile the whole time. Missy, why are you asking me all these questions for? But I was just like, let me shut the fuck up and not say anything. So those are the two things probably that I think people don't really know. So if you're born in the country and have changed your nationality, maybe look into it and make sure that you can explain, you know, why, you know, hey, I've been a citizen of this country now for X amount of years. I haven't been there in this amount of years. So just make sure, in case your home country might be maybe on a certain kind of list that they don't want. I don't know what it was. I really don't know what it was. But I was like, they didn't tell me about this. So I'm letting you know these are the types of questions they could ask you. And that's really it. That's about it. I have my card right now. I'm finally like, a little bit freer because I can do any work that I want to do. It has a lot of benefits, so if you are thinking of getting the F-2 visas, definitely look into it. I hope this video helped some of you. If it helped even one person, that's good for me because I didn't have anybody explain this to me, so I'm pretty happy that I figured it out by myself. But if it helped you, please let us know in the comments. If you watched till the end, please drop an emoji, whichever one you like. Just drop an emoji anyway, just to let me know that you watched till the end. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon, where we are currently doing lots of reactions on all the latest dramas. And I will see you guys in our next video. Bye!